Welcome to This Week in Bearcats Sports. I'm Brandon Kisker. This week's top story is about a few Bearcats beginning their professional career. The 2010 NFL Draft came and went with 3 Bearcats chosen in the draft. Former wide receiver Marty Gilliard was selected 99th overall by the St. Louis Rams. The Rams took Oklahoma quarterback Sam Bradford first overall and decided to get him a nice new target in the former Bearcat great. Look for Gilliard to compete for the kick and punt return gigs as well. Tony Pike was the second Bearcat to be taken in the 6th round, 204th overall, by the Carolina Panthers. The Panthers will have a very young makeup at the quarterback position, as 25-year-old Matt Moore is joined by second-round selection Jimmy Clausen and the 24-year-old Pike. Last but not least, the Bearcat on the best team is no doubt defensive lineman Ricardo Matthews. Matthews joins an aging Indianapolis Colts line that is desperately trying to get younger. Matthews joins Colts first-round selection Jerry Hughes out of TCU as 2 of the newest members of the perennial contenders. For the first time since joining the Big East, the conference championships will take place right here in Cincinnati, which also happens to be the 31st annual Outdoor Track and Field Championships in the Big East. All 16 Big East institutions will get together at Gettler Stadium for the Outdoor Track and Field Championships this Friday through Sunday. This is only the second Big East championship for UC since joining the Big East Conference when UC hosted the 06-07 Women's Volleyball Championship. The men's team placed 4th at the last 2 Big East Outdoor Championships, and the women's squad finished 6th last year. The men's team has 32 qualifiers in 17 events, while the women have 25 qualifiers in 17 events. Here's a look into UC's top 10 qualifiers in the big meet. Let's first take a look at the guys. 11 of our 32 qualifiers were ranked in the top 10 of the individual events, as was 2 of the team relay events. The spotlight will certainly be on the junior javelin thrower Brian Zimmerman, as he was the number 1 qualifier in the javelin, hurling it 68.88 meters, which is nearly a whopping 226 feet. For the women, the spotlight will be on Jasmine Cotton, who qualified number 1 in the long jump, jumping 6.13 meters, which is over 20 feet. For complete schedule events, go to bigeast.org or gobearcats.com. Admission is free on Friday for all spectators. Adults are $4 and seniors, children 18 and under, will be $2 on Saturday and Sunday. Students from any of these 16 institutions gain free admission with a valid student ID all weekend. Now let's turn our heads to the diamond. The Bearcats visited Notre Dame this past weekend, dropping 2 of 3 to the Fighting Irish. Game 1 saw Brian Garman pitch pretty well, allowing 3 earned runs off 8 hits in 7 innings pitched, striking out 3 but still getting the loss, dropping his record to 3-1. Irish pitcher Brian Dupra struck out 8 on his way to the 5-2 Irish win. Stephen Mazier gets the save. The Saturday in South Bend saw Tyler Smith get the start for the Bearcats, but only lasted 4 innings, striking out 3 and allowing 2 earned runs. The Bearcats had a big 9th inning, and with the help of a big double by Kevin Johnson, put up 4 runs, 2 of which came off of the Irish closer Stephen Mazier, who got the loss. The swing game in the series was a big one, and the Bearcats had a hard time to start out, as starter Nick Johnson only lasted 1 1/3 innings, giving up 3 earned runs. In the 9th, the Cats tied the game up at 4 and brought Andrew Burkett in to pitch, but that was a short-lived stint, as Irish designated hitter David Mills hit a walk-off home run to win the game and the series for the Fighting Irish. Then the Bearcats came back to Cincinnati to start a weekday 2-game home-and-home series against crosstown rival Xavier. And even though Jimmy Jacquo hit a team-best 7th home run of the year, the Bearcats were beat 10-4. The second half of the home-and-home series saw the Bearcats repay the favor to the Musketeers. Andrew Strenge earned the win after a solid start by Kevin Johnson, as the Bearcats win 8-5. The aforementioned Johnson had a great game, going 1 for 1, his 6th home run of the season, 2 base on balls, a stolen base, and 3 runs to go along with 4 innings pitched, 2 earned runs, and 2 strikeouts. Andrew Burkett earned the save after retiring the last 3 in the 9th inning. The Bearcats improved to 20-20 overall, but are still only 5-10, good enough for 8th in the Big East. The Cats are home this weekend with a 3-game Big East series against the West Virginia Mountaineers. The Mountaineers are sitting 11th in the Big East with a 3-12 record in league play and an 18-23 overall record. All these games can be heard on Bearcastradio.com. Coming off of a 15-9 victory against Jacksonville, the lacrosse team faced Big East foe Syracuse in a showdown right here at Nippert Stadium. The Orange were greeted by some light rain, and the Bearcats were greeted by the Orange's Christina Dove, who led the team with 4 goals in a big win over the Bearcats 19-3. The Cats couldn't lose their focus, though, because 2 days later, the Yukon Huskies came into town for the last home game of the year, and for a few seniors, the last home games of their career. Jess Kazix, Patty Kelly, Shannon Lines, and Jen Mott all said goodbye to games at Nippert Stadium. Connecticut started out hot, scoring the first 5 goals of the game, but the Bearcats stormed back with 3 of their own to go into the half, down by 2. That didn't last long as the Bearcats scored their first 2 goals of the second half, tying the game at 5. The thriller ended up going into overtime, and with 1 minute and 10 seconds left on the clock, UConn's Chelsea Hosworth scored the game winner, assisted by Katie Devaney, to beat the Bearcats by a final of 12-11 in overtime. The Bearcats are now 5-10 overall and 0-6 in the Big East. The final 2 games for the lacrosse team are Big East matchups against Villanova Wildcats this Friday, who are also 0-6 in the Big East play, and this Sunday against 5th place Rutgers. There are a lot of things going on this weekend. Baseball, the Big East Outdoor Track and Field Championships, and best-selling Southern rapper Ludacris will be in Fifth Third Arena for PAC's spring concert. One thing is for sure, if you're coming down to campus, give yourself plenty of time to battle the traffic. Click over to GoBearcats.com for exclusive track and field coverage, and of course, Bearcastradio.com for your baseball play-by-play this weekend. Thanks for tuning in to This Week in Bearcat Sports. I'm Brandon Kisker.